welcome to TMZ Live. Diddy is going to spend more than 2 years in a federal prison after the judge sentenced him to 50 months behind bars.
The judge did not have a lot of mercy leading up to this sentence. What he said was, look, you were violent with these things. He actually quoted testimony that was pretty graphic.
Very graphic.
But said these things to make the point that you did bad things. Yes, you were acquitted of sex trafficking, of the RICO charges, but I'm taking into consideration the testimony that I heard.
And he believed it.
And it meant a lot.
And he believed it. Now, again, the jury didn't believe it beyond a reasonable doubt. But clearly, the judge said that testimony was on the table. It is relevant. The judge talked about violence toward Cassie, violence toward Jane and others. The judge said there was a long history of violence. And even though he gave him credit with his good deeds, with charity work, being a father, he said the history of violence was long and troubling and ominous.
Yeah, and the judge said, by the way, speaking of like his charitable works, leading up to this, this sentencing hearing took most of the day. There was a lot of evidence that Diddy's side put forward, trying to say, look, he is a good man, he has done good things, and he will do good things going forward. Part of the way they made that case was with a 12-minute long video where they basically showed him interacting with his family, with students at his schools. This is just a little bit of that video, and we'll get into what the reaction was in court.
When my baby cries.
You gotta give her a bottle then. What I want to do with my freedom is, make sure that I can make change.
You will change the world.
Kim Porter, who shares 3 children with Sean Diddy Combs, has been found dead.
Now I'm a full-time dad, and I'm gonna be there for you through everything, all of y'all.
I wanted to tell you how much I love you, how much I care for you. Thank you for being so supportive of me and my siblings' dreams, for always encouraging us to go for whatever we want.
We love you. We can't wait to make more memories with you. Just want to thank you for everything you do for us. Yes, and we want to let you know that you're loved more than you think.
I love you.
I love you so much.
I love you so much.
Love you so much.
Hi, Daddy.
So the video, which frankly, I mean, Charles and I watched this early on today, and honestly, it was kind of
a mistake.
It was cringy to us because it was so highly and slickly produced with music and all. It didn't feel like it was authentic from him. But we had our producer in court who said that the family and Diddy dissolved into tears.
Diddy crying, and others in the courtroom crying. In fact, even one of Diddy's attorneys at one point was sobbing. So
I want to get into what I thought was a huge misstep on Diddy's part. But before I do, we should break down
bombshell.
The bombshell. But before we get into the bombshell, we should break down how this works. He was sentenced to 50 months. He has served 13 months. So then you got to figure out. So basically, he's got 3 years and a month behind bars for things that he doesn't have credit for yet.
Correct.
He gets 15% credit for time served.
Which takes him down about 32 and a half months. I think we did the math.
And then there are other credits you get. So
he's looking at
31 and a half.
2+ years.
Right.
We're looking at 2.5 years.
Well, it's going to go down a little bit more because of credits.
Correct.
So it's going to be 2 and change.
2 and 2, 2 and 4, something like that. Yeah.
So where he goes, the judge said he will make a recommendation on Monday. The Federal Bureau of Prisons will ultimately decide he's going to go to a minimum security prison.
Some places are called Club Fed for a reason. They're very cushy digs, and it's sort of not going to be hard living. NBC Brooklyn has been very tough on him.
You're deprived of your freedom, but little else.
That's right.
So let's talk about this bombshell, because I was stunned by this.
Yeah.
The prosecution came out swinging and said, you want to talk about a guy who doesn't show remorse or isn't taking this seriously? Diddy booked a speech for this coming Monday.
Right.
This coming Monday.
3 days from
making the point that he clearly thought that he was going to get what his lawyers had asked for, which was time served, and that he would be released immediately. And the prosecution made the point that the hubris of this man, Your Honor, to think that he does not deserve any sentence at all, that you would let him out immediately. And regardless of what the judge was thinking, the fact that Diddy had booked this engagement for Monday said so much. And
It's a slap in the face to
and
the
it took a
judge.
couple of hours before we heard an explanation from his side.
It wasn't a good
The
explanation.
explanation
not a good
was
explanation.
terrible. They said that Diddy needs to have something to do when he gets out of prison, so we were trying to get ahead and to get him this speaking engagement.
In Miami, which they said was not speaking as a
Akin to him
teaching
having idle
engagement,
hands
but
and needing to do something. Go be with your family. You've been in prison for 13
It
months.
is so dismissive of the judge that you're booking something for Monday.
Completely.
And thinking, yeah, the judge is just going to let me out. And it's like the judge is sitting here thinking this is a serious, terrible crime, and he has not shown the proper remorse. And then he hears, yeah, he's booked something for Monday. That's
By the way,
unbelievable to me.
that being said,
Can
though,
really
I
offend.
would. You can't say that it impacted the judge that much, because to end up at 4 years,
So
2 months,
He did what he did what he planned on doing when he took
Right,
don't think
because
any
earlier
change
the judge
happened.
had mentioned that
So-
I could go up to 7 and change.
The judge took the bench and spoke for, 10 minutes or so before letting us know what the sentence was going to be. And all four of us sitting here listening to that, we were
Thought it was gonna
inching
be
our
higher.
predictions up. Every
Yeah.
time the judge said another sentence, we're like, oh, it's going to be a bit worse
Yeah.
than that. Because the judge was taking him to task for not really being reformed. He's a specific threat going forward. He said, I don't believe you're not going to do this again.
I can't ignore the trial record.
And I can't believe that the society at large, if I give you too lenient a sentence, the society is going to think we don't actually hold people accountable.
Yeah.
So-
it
so-
sounded like he was inching up, and then then it turned, right? Because then he referenced the 11 years that prosecutors were seeking. And he said,
That's not unreasonable.
that is unreasonable. And so then it started to shift. Is he going to go middle of the road, but still slightly high? And then he ends up landing middle light. He cuts the baby, but goes
Lower than the sentencing
lower than half the 11.
So we had a big argument here in the newsroom and on our live stream today that I thought he was going to play the trump card, because it was
literally.
clear to the judge, clear to everyone, this judge was going to give him prison time.
And
the only way to get out of it is to bend the knee to Donald Trump and say, I now understand what the president was saying when he talked about the Justice Department weaponizing the system against him, because it happened to me with all these other charges. It wouldn't have gone over well with the judge, but I think it would have gone over
Yeah, we
with
thought
Trump.
his back was
But
against
he-
the wall, and he would play for the pardon because Trump has a capacity for forgiveness.
By the way,
He's done it before with
the pardon,
people.
I think is still in play now. If he does the right thing, the right back channeling, it's a short term. It's not like he's forgiving a 70%.
Now he doesn't need to. It's light enough. He doesn't want to sacrifice his own fan base.
No. It's another 2.5 years to get a pardon from Trump. I don't think it's. I don't
if
think
he
it's
could,
sacrificing.
sure, he would. But as I said before, and I'm not here to gloat and say I was right.
I'm glad.
He's not going to play. He's not going to play that card. It would be too transparent. Not for Trump. Trump would have been fine with the
then
transparency.
he gets a pardon.
But it's too transparent for Diddy and his ego. Diddy's ego is not going to say, I'm going to suck up to this guy
He doesn't.
who I've always been critical of, and now suddenly I'm just going to say.
No, they were friends. They were friends before.
They were, but
I
they
know,
were
since
friends.
he's been president.
I understand.
Since he's been
He
president.
campaigned for Kamala. He would have to eat a lot of crow.
What it would have cost him with the community, with the black community, he wasn't going to do that.
People
And by the way,
pivot.
what he did say when Diddy addressed...
Eric Adams pivoted.
Hold on. We should say that Diddy did take about 12 minutes where he was the last person to speak before the sentence. And he said a lot of things that made it clear he was trying to rehabilitate his public image. He said, I'm a man of God, and that I screwed up and I lost my way. All of that was to appeal to his fans, not to appeal to the judge, not to appeal to Donald Trump.
I'm sorry, I get your point, but I don't think he is now thinking of his fan base, because he said that his career is destroyed. He said he's lost everything.
He's laid low.
And what he doesn't want, most of all, is to spend any more time behind bars.
Away from
but
his
that
family.
was an MDC. He's going to a country club for 2
This
years.
is-
He can stomach that. He'll
Yeah.
be just fine. He'll come out.
By the way,
having
it
served
came
his time.
out that they tried to shank him.
Yeah, I know. But
at
MDC
NBC.
is different. He's going to get out of there soon.
Were you shocked at how light this was overall?
It's a kind of about what I think the judge was going to do, and found the middle ground between the two.
So we were all sort of hoodwinked. We were taken advantage of by the lofty language of the judge, right?
Yep.
We all went higher, but the judge sort of went back to where we thought he was going to be originally.
Yeah.
Coming up,
The Life of a Showgirl is out now, 12 tracks, and there is one song in particular that really stands out to people.
She's in Sabrina Carpenter territory.
Absolutely. Joining us now to break down the album is Olivia Levin, who has run a Taylor Swift superfan site. By the way, ran it for so long, Taylor actually took notice of that.
Be right back.
Well, the other big news of the day, and really on any other day, it would be
forget it.
The only news.
And
but
also,
this is a special day.
there's a government shutdown.
And there's that.
No.
But
after Taylor Swift.
Yes, I think Taylor Swift dropping an album would normally top even the government shutdown. But yes, The Life of a Showgirl is out now, 12 tracks. I know people in our office have spent the entire night listening to it on repeat. And there is one song in particular that really stands out to people. The song is called Wood, and it is very clearly about her fiance.
Or parts of her fiance.
And parts of her fiance. Here is just a little bit. I think this is all clean enough to play on the air.
Forgive me, it sounds cocky. Hypnotize me and open my eyes. Redwood tree, it ain't hard to see. His love was the key that opened my thighs. The curse on me was broken by your magic wand. Seems to me that you and me, we make our own luck. New heights, manhood. I gotta knock on wood.
Okay.
If I had some pearls, I'd be clutching them.
Yeah, I mean, she's in Sabrina Carpenter territory.
Absolutely. Joining us now to break down the album is Olivia Levin, who has run a Taylor Swift superfan site. By the way, ran it for so long, Taylor actually took notice of that. We'll get into that with her. And she has written a book about Taylor and Taylor Swift fandom that is coming out next year. Olivia, welcome to TMZ Live.
Thank you for having me.
So first, a general review of the album.
General review of the album, let's see. I mean, the general consensus, as well as my own, is that it is everything and more we wanted it to be. Each song is just infectious. The melodies, they're already stuck in my head even after just a couple listens. And I think we're just overall very, very pleasantly surprised with this album, but also not really surprised because she never disappoints.
So I'm curious, Olivia, how you and the rest of the Swifties for Eternity, your superfan account, I know there's a lot of debate about some of the songs. There's no debate about Wood. Are you surprised at how graphic and forward? I mean, this sounds like Sabrina Carpenter type stuff.
Yeah, she's like you guys said, she's definitely leaning into that unfiltered Sabrina Carpenter type territory. I am not that surprised. I mean, I think even though it has a lot of sexual connotations, the songwriting is still brilliant, and only Taylor Swift could do that. Only she could make a song and write a song about that and still make it so poetic and metaphorical with all these double meanings and everything. So it's definitely getting a lot of chatter online, and even Nicki Minaj was tweeting about how insane that song is and how she's obsessed with it. So I think we're all here for unfiltered Taylor.
So two things. One, I can't wait to hear the New Heights podcast on what happens between Jason and Travis now that the song's been released. But secondly,
I see props.
Yeah. But secondly, usually Taylor Swift's the one that influences others. Am I completely off base to say, in a way, she's been influenced by, say, Sabrina Carpenter, Olivia Rodrigo, and others who have really gone graphic.
That she brought
up.
Right.
But they've gotten so graphic and so popular that in a way she's followed them.
I think there's always a little bit of Taylor influences people, and of course she's influenced by other artists. Even she says it herself. So I could see how our culture and everything is changing in the industry and how graphic people are getting in the lyrics. I could see that having opened up that world for her and been like, okay, I can finally not care about how I say things and just say them as I think them, So for sure.
So let's get to the diss tracks, or if they're diss tracks. Everyone expected there to be a song that was very clearly a shot at Blake Lively. I don't think that is there. There is a song called Canceled, but that seems, people think that very clearly to a lot of Swifties, she's going after Charlie XCX. Is that the way you heard it?
So, well, let me back up a little bit. So Taylor does this thing with her songs where she'll release the song titles and she knows everyone's going to make assumptions. Like, I guarantee you she knew everyone was going to assume that Ruin the Friendship was about Blake Lively. It is not. Ruin the Friendship is about someone she knew in high school, and her life as a showgirl kind of took her away on tour, and she lost touch with him, and he passed away and flew home for his funeral. It's a very sad song, very different than what people expected it to be. But Almost Romantic, everyone thought was going to be a romantic song, maybe about Travis or something. But actually Romantic, people now think is about Charli XCX, and it's for multiple reasons. There has been a little bit of drama, I guess the Swifties have been aware of in the past, where, yes, Charli opened up for the Reputation tour and then made a comment or posted something insinuating that Swifties were a bunch of 5-year-olds. I think there was a lot that went on behind the scenes that we don't really know about. I know that Charli, I actually just learned this yesterday, that Charli's fiance or husband is in Maddie Healy's band. He's a drummer. Right. Yes, and so they're close friends with him. I think there's a lot we don't know, but I do know that when you listen to the song on Spotify, there's a picture of Taylor that shows up, and she's holding an apple in her hand. Very random, but very intentional, as Charli XCX had a song that was about an apple.
So two things. One, it's shocking to me that 10 hours after the album drops, you know all the nuances of it already. That's number one. Number two is, you know, this kind of reminds me a little bit of the Beatles, where they pivoted, where they were doing kind of lollipop rock, and then, you know, really started doing adult things. Does this feel like, you know, because Charli XCX, her fans even did talk about, you know, Taylor's fans are 5 years old. Does this feel like she's starting to play to a more adult audience, either the audience that's already grown up now that she had, or trying to get that newer audience of adults?
I would say it's inaccurate to say that her fans are all young and that she's been catering to them in her lyrics her entire career. I think that she has grown up a lot and feels more comfortable now with being more unfiltered, but we still get a lot of that in her other songs on Reputation. There's a song called Dress, where she says, I only bought this dress so you could take it off. So there's, I think, a lot of that people who aren't necessarily big Swifties don't know about. But she's always been a little bit like that. And I think it's just different in this case because she wrote an entire song that was so explicit.
So, Olivia, I know that 8 years ago, Taylor invited you, after seeing your fan site, invited you to preview the Reputation album. Is that meeting with her, was that the inspiration for your book, which comes out next year, The Story of Us, How the Taylor Swift Fandom Changed Our Lives?
Yep, that was definitely, I mean, the inspiration. And yeah, the book is about the Taylor Swift fandom, and it has been life-changing. You know, this week, the album rollouts, everyone in the community is talking about the theories and what does this mean and what does that mean? And Taylor makes it so exciting for us. And she's done it since the beginning of her career. She doesn't need to do it anymore. We'd still be streaming and buying her albums, but she does it because she's remained true to herself, and it has built such a loyal, fun community of people who just enjoy the magic of what the community is. And I wanted to document in the book everything from the last 2 decades so that newer Swifties can see, oh my God, that happened. Like, that's how things used to be in the fandom. And then fans that have been around for a long time can read the book and read our story and reminisce about all the times. And I hope that Taylor reads it and she feels the same.
Olivia, it's almost like cheating, that it's like a guaranteed New York Times bestseller.
Yeah.
Let's hope.
You cannot go wrong. Hey, we really appreciate you coming on. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for the insight.
Coming up.
Hey, Paul. Love the shoes.
Thank you.
Love the shoes. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
How you doing, Paul? Charles, nice to meet you.
You're such a good actor. Why would you take barbed wire to your face?
Do you just enjoy wrestling that much?
Be right back.
TMZ's got every freaking thing. Big celebs, big stories, big events.
Phoebe Rexha was looking hot on vacation.
Look at the water, too. Did you just say, look at the water?
I mean, I'll be honest, that is what I was looking at.
TMZ.
Hey, Paul.
What's up, dude?
Love the shoes.
Thank you.
Love the shoes. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
How you doing, Paul? Charles, nice to meet you.
Yeah, dude.
I saw you in the Richard
Sleeping
Jewell
last night.
movie.
I was in your window. Yeah, Richard Jewell. Yeah.
Yes.
I played that guy.
That
What a
was-
sad story
But
that
that was a great flick.
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah, I got to be in a banger.
That was really good.
Yeah.
That was.
I've gotten to
You're,
do
but
some
you're a
cool
comedian, and that was a different role, man.
stuff. Yeah, no, I played a serial killer in this show called Blackburn. That was, I think that and Richard Jewell were the thing where people were like, oh, you're an actor, you're not just like.
Yeah, Richard Jewell was great.
Not just around, you know.
Oh, you saw Blackbird?
Yeah, that was
That's where he got
gnarly.
his Golden Globe, and that was
Yeah. So life has been good. I've been very spoiled.
Yeah,
These are
love
cozy,
the
man.
footwear, man.
Repping my boy,
They're
Mark
awesome.
Wahlberg.
They are, huh?
Yeah, repping my guy Mark Wahlberg. We shot a movie together, and he
Wait, those are
turned me on to
Wahlbergs?
his. That's one of his brands. One of his 35 brands.
God, those look comfortable.
Cozy.
Is that where do you get those?
Extremely cozy. They got a brick and mortar in West Hollywood by Earth Cafe.
Oh, I know where that is.
And then,
yeah.
They got an online store and stuff.
So you're talking to our wrestling dudes?
I am. They're talking to me, man. We're gonna have fun. It's gonna be awesome.
He's executive producing a show tomorrow here in LA.
I produce and direct segments for this company, Major League Wrestling, MLW.
Yeah.
And then I started wrestling for them as well. So I've got 22 matches under my belt. The agents probably don't like that I'm wrestling, but you know,
You took
I gotta do
It's fun, right?
What?
right to your head. The barbed
Are
wire.
you serious?
Some barbed wire. I took some thumbtacks to my back. Yeah.
Oh, on a serious note. Wow. Did you ever
Go to Diddy's parties.
No.
Not.
No.
Is it because you weren't invited?
Not Sean. Not Mr.
I was going to ask about Rampage
His
Jackson's
son,
kid.
Raja.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Raja,
But
yeah.
since you've been kicking around in wrestling, did you ever interact with him?
No. I don't know who to blame in the scenario. It seems like Rampage's kid is.
Oh,
to
I
blame.
do.
Yeah.
But having said that, also they need to know how to smarten people up. And in the wrestling business, that is not the first time that has happened. You got to
Really?
be able to tell people set your intentions, let them know if something is a work or a shoot, if you're joking or not. It sounds like Matt Riddle visited, and that wasn't very comfortable. Sometimes the line
was
gets
not
blurred,
a conversation
but
with
I'm
Matt.
gonna work that out. I know Matt. I work with him, so he's been nothing but cool to me.
Why
might have
would
caught
you
him on
take?
a bad day.
You're such a good actor. Why would you take barbed wire to your face?
Do you just
Well, I'm
enjoy
not
wrestling
Brad
that much?
Pitt, you know. This face is always going to be a little malleable, you know. This is more of a Paul Giamatti or a John Goodman.
By the way, I heard you in the new Springsteen biopic.
I am.
Oh, are you
yeah.
really?
It's a big ensemble. I'm not like a major
What do you
player.
play?
But I play Mike Batlin, his guitar tech, the real life guy who assisted him when he was making the Nebraska album.
Oh, wow.
Want to hear something crazy? I lived in Springsteen's old house.
What?
Up at
In New
Fairholme-
Jersey?
Fairholme Drive in WeHo.
Oh, dude.
My wife and my kid, and we conceived in his old bedroom. So when I met,
Is the kid's name Bruce?
when I met Bruce, I said we're kind of like locational Eskimo brothers. Like we've both done this.
I didn't know that's a thing, but
he laughed his ass off. He's super cool.
Hey,
This
it's
isn't
good
the Wild
meeting you.
West,
Great
to
man.
meet you, Paul.
Good to meet you.
Really nice meeting you.
Yeah, man. God bless.
Great meeting you, man.
That's fun.
Yeah, and remember,
Thanks for coming by.
Inside the Ring,
And-
next week he'll be on our next episode. So
Cool.
Little tip with Branson: go for the neck.
Yeah.
He's soft there,
I
apparently.
wouldn't dare.
because I'm okay now.
These
so I'm
white
good.
people scare me. They all have money or contacts. It's terrifying.
Coming up.
Keith Urban and Nicole Kidman clearly both moving on in their lives. And Keith is in the middle of a tour. And everyone was waiting to see what the interaction was going to be between Keith and his guitarist, Maggie Baugh.
Be right back.
Welcome back to TMZ Live. Keith Urban and Nicole Kidman clearly both moving on in their lives. We told you, of course, they've signed their divorce settlement. And Keith is in the middle of a tour. So he performed last night in Hershey, Pennsylvania. And everyone was waiting to see what the interaction was going to be between Keith and his guitarist, Maggie Baugh, who had performed with him earlier in the year. and there was some chemistry, or certainly people saw it that way.
It was there was a lot here, and,
And that-
you know, and this was in April, and a lot of people thought she's the girl because we had done a story that,
he was moved
Nicole's
on.
people thought he had moved on, and we thought she's the girl. Well, guess where the girl was?
Not on stage last night when he performed, which also raised eyebrows.
It's interesting.
Probably more than if she were
was
on
there.
stage. Right.
That's right.
Because now people, you know, who watched the concert, who were there, thinking, well, maybe she didn't show up because of all the attention now, and people thinking that she is the woman he's moving on with.
And not just that, but the song they did together back in April that people started thinking maybe there's something going on there. It was his song, The Fighter. He didn't perform that song at all. Not only is she not there, he just scrapped the song.
And The Fighter is a song he wrote for Nicole, and he had changed the lyrics to talk about Maggie instead of Nicole.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of smoke there.
No Maggie, no Fighter, none of that. But there was a picture of Nicole. She did kind of show up.
So you would
A
think
picture of Nicole?
Yeah, they had a montage during one of his songs where they had a picture of Nicole and the kids, and you would think, oh, well, maybe it's okay. And then there was a lyric.
There was a lyric.
And
that
then
changed.
there was a lyric.
So his song, You'll Think of Me, it's about a breakup, and that song was before he and Nicole were even together, so it wasn't about her. But obviously, a breakup song at this moment in time is going to be perceived as being about her. There's a line that says, take your space and take your reasons, and he changed it to take your space and take your reasons. That's an
BS,
aggressive
if we're
change.
allowed to say that.
I don't know if we were allowed to say BS, but anyway.
But the reason that's relevant is that what were the words that...
it makes it seem like...
No, there were words about not feeling supported. That was the sense that...
Yeah, like she...
That
wasn't
Keith had, that he was
supporting
not
him.
feeling supported, we were told. And then on the other side, it was like, what do you mean? She went to every one of your events, you went to one of hers.
Right.
So listen, as we've been covering this story, we've heard a lot. We've been talking to a lot of people on Nicole's side. It's been hard to get
Really
a lot
hard.
of comment from people on Keith's side, but I know you spoke to someone connected to him that
I did.
had some news about the concert last night.
I did. We just broke the story, as a matter of fact. A little bit more clarity, maybe. Apparently, Maggie's not actually a part of the band. She's not on tour. She's not a part of the opening act. She's filled in so far on one show in Chicago, which is what we've seen video of.
And then Vegas.
And she did but that was a private show in Vegas.
But still, she performed with
she's not a part of it. She wasn't there last
So
night.
she's not part
because-
of his touring
Correct.
band. She just did those two shows.
She was filling in for his usual guitarist.
Hi, I'm Kat Carter from Long Island. And honestly, it sounds like it's just a lot back to back with like the news breaking and then the divorce happening and then like changing the lyrics to adding profanity. I just hope that they all have emotional support, especially with their kids, and everyone can work through it.
We will see. To be continued.
Well, Ray J promised he would not be silenced, and he had a lot to say about the Kardashians. Did a live stream.
Remember, he's been sued by the Kardashians for defamation. Kim and Kris have said that he defamed them by saying that they were the targets of a RICO racketeering investigation.
Right, and he had told us his only reaction the day of the lawsuit was to say he would not be silenced. Here is what he had to say. There's something he did not address here, but
the issue.
The issue. Here's what he said.
How I defame you? You just paid me all this money. You didn't mention that. These bitches already paid me $5 million, bro. And they trying to like make me a slave, bro. I can show you all the dirty they telling me. This ain't even no money. This ain't even no money, bro. This is you telling me, please don't tell nobody. You going to jail. This is bribery. What are you doing? This is hush money from a lie that you created. You went online and said that you didn't do the, you like, Kris, you told me what to do. You made me shoot another dirty sex tape with your daughter, and you made me do dirty things, yo. America deserves to know. Y'all trying to kill the black community. Y'all trying to kill off. I swear to God, I can go deeper than this, but I'm not today.
So he is going back to what he's talked about before, which is getting into the sex tape that he says Kris engineered it. He says, and he put a screenshot up of a settlement agreement where he says that they bought his silence for $5 million so he wouldn't talk anymore. What he didn't address is what the lawsuit is about, which is the allegation of RICO.
He seems to be hinting that his grievance that he was talking about here, that would be, maybe I'm connecting a dot here I shouldn't, but that somehow that is part of the RICO.
I think you're connecting dots here.
But I don't know why the feds, it still doesn't make sense to me.
If he's saying the Kardashians silenced me by settling with me so I wouldn't talk, that has nothing to do with RICO.
Right.
Zero.
I don't get his part about...
He didn't address it.
No, he didn't address it. But what he is saying is, if you mess with me and choose to sue me, I'm going to speak out about everything. And he's not concerned about specifically, sort of verifying the comments about the RICO investigation. What he was saying in this is, you're trying to kill all the black community. You did dirty things to me. He's going back in history
he's going full Kanye.
He's going nuclear. And he's saying, if you persist with this, I'm going to air it all out. And to be fair, he was with them very early on. He probably does know some skeletons to the extent they have any skeletons. And he's saying, I'm going to voice all those.
DC, California. How is Ray J going to compete with the Kardashians? They're a very powerful family with a lot of money to back them up. I think he is still bitter about them using him for his fame and that his career didn't take off while Kim's did.
Coming up.
Well, if you are a runner, I enjoy a good 5 or 10K myself. A marathon is a whole other thing, but how about an ultramarathon? That would be something. Now, how about an ultramarathon where you have to, as part of the event, eat a whole lot of Taco Bell?
Be right back.
Well, if you are a runner, I enjoy a good 5 or 10K myself. A marathon is a whole other thing, but how about an ultramarathon? That would be something. Now, how about an ultramarathon where you have to, as part of the event, eat a whole lot of Taco Bell?
A lot of Taco Bell.
Yes, that is the event going down on Saturday in Denver. It is the 8th annual International Taco Bell 50K Ultra Marathon. This event is crazy. It is the brainchild of our guests, Jason Romero and Dan Zolnikov. You guys are like mad scientists. I don't know why you came up with this event. And the fact that it's now in its 8th year is also insane. Welcome to TMZ Live.
Thank you.
Okay, so you got to walk us through this because we know a little bit about it. You got to explain the drill on what people have to do, what they can and can't do.
Dan, take us through it.
Yeah, so Taco Bell 50K, it's a 31-mile loop around Denver. We stop at 10 Taco Bells. Runners have to eat at 9 of the 10. And by the 4th stop, all entrants had to have consumed a Crunchwrap Supreme or Chalupa Supreme. And then by the 8th stop, all entrants had to have consumed a Burrito Supreme or Nacho Supreme.
So are you monitoring that they actually finish it?
Well, what we do is, and what we've asked is that the runners, they keep their wrappers from the food, which is kind of pay homage to the Barclays Marathon, where runners have to tear pages out of a book and provide them to the race director to show that they've done a full loop. So we do count the wrappers at the end. They have to have at least 9 or 10 wrappers at the end to be an official survivor.
So, yeah, survivor. Now, Jason, I understand there are certain things you cannot do. How do I keep this? You can't. You
can't poop.
You can't. No, you can't. You can't vomit, right? So if you vomit at any point, you're out.
That's right. So we have a zero tolerance policy, DNF if you vomit. So if it comes up in the back of your mouth, you can swallow it back down. You're still in. But if it comes out of your mouth, that's it. It's over.
Okay, I'm close to being out right now.
We also have another rule. No Mylanta, no Pepto, on course, zero tolerance policy.
What if you have it before? Like, how do you know that? What if someone pops?
You can't.
What if you pop one of those pills before the race?
Karma comes back to haunt.
Oh.
It'll come
What
back.
about bathrooms?
Bathroom breaks are only permitted at Taco Bell stops. There's one off-course bathroom break permitted in a place where we cross through Washington Park. They have some portlets, which I'm not sure why Dan did that. But this year with 500-600 runners, those bathrooms are going to be kind of clogged up. I hope we have some plungers around.
That's the other thing. If you have 600 runners, They're all going to the same Taco Bell at roughly the same time. How are they making all the food?
So we've instituted a policy. We use the Taco Bell app in order to order in advance. The other thing we do is we partner with our local Taco Bell franchisees. They're opening early for us. At one of our Taco Bells, our volunteer organization, we have a charity partner here, and one of our Achilles International, the Denver chapter. But one of their folks has bought 200 food items in advance at one of the Taco Bell stops to move people through earlier. And our recommendation to our participants is for the first 3 stops, pre-buy your Taco Bell the night before so that you can kind of get through those first 3 stops. There's a lot of DNFs at stop number 4 where you have to eat the Chalupa or the Crunchwrap Supreme, so it thins out at that point.
It is interesting, guys, that, and we should make this clear, Taco Bell is not endorsing or officially affiliated with this race. Have you tried to get them on board? I was going to say, I'm sure you made the call. What did they say?
We've made the call, and all we've had is radio silence. Now, Dan and I both have a little bit of a legal background, but we think this is tied up in legal at Taco Bell, kind of saying, we don't want any liability, anything. We're getting the brand awareness. Just let them do their thing, and we're happy with that.
I mean, they're getting brand awareness, but we're also talking about people potentially vomiting, so that's probably not great.
I'm just going to ask this question. Most runners, when you watch marathons, are like rail thin because they run so much. You are introducing an element that doesn't feel rail thin to me. So give me the profile of the Joe Schmo that runs in this marathon.
We have all types of runners, every body shape, size, gender, you name it. But the one thing I want to tell you guys, I want to dispel the myth because Taco Bell is actually fitness food. It brings carbs, calories, protein into the mix, and it's real food. Dan and I both run 100-plus mile races, 100-mile races, and we actually eat Taco Bell during our races, and there's a variety of other folks that do too. It's interesting because with high caloric foods, when you're running super long distances, it actually adds, it actually helps you out, and the high sodium helps you out too. But if you're a couch potato, I'm not sure about the Taco Bell, but for our race, I'm telling you, this is fitness food.
Have a great time tomorrow.
By the way, what was that? I know where Washington Park is. I just want to know which bathrooms, because I'm not going there.
Yeah, we're not going near them.
Not going anywhere. I love Washington Park, but
not going in the same
near
zip
that bathroom.
The other thing I want to let you guys know, TacoBell50k.com is our website, and also it's a free race. We don't charge any entrance. There's no profiteering. This is 100% for fun and to foster community through running, and safety is our number one value. So thanks for having us on, guys.
We love it. Don't drop the chalupa.
Thanks, guys.
Coming up.
Tyrese did the decent thing. There was an arrest warrant out for him because his dogs, his Cane Corso Mastiffs, attacked another dog, mauled, killed cute little Henry. He turned himself in.
Be right back.
Tyrese did the decent thing. He turned himself in.
The lawful thing.
The lawful thing, yes. You know that there was an arrest warrant out for him because his dogs, his Cane Corso Mastiffs, were roaming the neighborhood, his Atlanta neighborhood, and attacked another dog, mauled, killed cute little Henry. Oh, God, that photo's awful.
It's awful. His dogs had been running at least 5 times, unleashed in the neighborhood, menacing, and so according to neighbors. So they've charged him with animal cruelty. They went to his house, actually, to try and confiscate the dogs, and he wouldn't allow them in. By the time they got a search warrant, he was gone, the dogs were gone.
And hence the arrest warrant. Well, he turned himself in. We have the mugshot, and he was released on $20,000 bail, and he is going to have to face this animal. I mean, Tyrese himself has said he's apologized already for what his dogs did. He says he feels awful for the owner of Henry.
And the owner said he's never called him, never apologized.
Well, and Tyrese said that he rehomed the dogs, but the problem here is that the cops and animal control there in Atlanta want to see the dogs.
Yeah, they want to see the dogs.
So he's turned himself in, but he still has to tell them where his dogs are.
Well, here's the thing. Right now, if he wants to face the music, and he says, I don't know where the dogs are, they can prosecute him, convict him of this. It's usually not a jail sentence. It could be, but it's a misdemeanor.
Yeah.
And so the authorities don't have really the power to force him to say where it is.
Well, we will see what happens here.
Coming up.
Diddy is going to go to prison. This could be a very scary period in his life because it even came out during the sentencing that he is not just high profile, he is a target. Somebody tried to shank him.
Right.
And there could be a lot of problems behind bars.
Be right back.
Diddy is going to go to prison. And this could be a very scary period in his life because it even came out during the sentencing that he is not just high profile, he is a target. Somebody tried to shank him.
Right.
And there could be a lot of problems behind bars if you're Sean Diddy Combs.
He's gotten a taste of this for over a year now, and now knows that it's going to be even longer, that he's going to have to deal with this. So how does he adjust? I mean, to think about what's going through, at least when he was in before, he was thinking, all right, we're going to go through the trial. There'll be an ending to this. Hopefully it'll be, now this is your life.
Now it's his life. Now here's the thing. Mark Garagos and I do a podcast. I know this is a plug, but the Two Angry Men podcast, Mark is part of Diddy's team, and we're going to talk about that, Diddy's fear behind bars, on our podcast, Two Angry Men, which drops Saturday at 10 a.m. Pacific time.